The death of Star Wars. On May 25th, 1977, an incredible movie franchise was born. It was Star Wars. It all started with A New Hope. It, to be honest, was not the best quality, but nonetheless great. The creator, George Lucas, put all he had into the movie. It was an instant box office success. 3 years later, George Lucas dropped another one, The Empire Strikes Back, and 3 years after that, he dropped Return of the Jedi, an unstoppable run. George Lucas made such detailed characters like Luke, Leia, Han, Lando, Chewie, C-3PO, and R2-D2, and many more. Numerous planets, ships, and species were also in it, making it super interesting. Impossible to mess up. Then, if it couldn't get any better, it did. The prequels came out, and it seemed as if Star Wars was unstoppable. We got to see the preludes to our favorite characters. Personally, I'm a Revenge of the Sith guy. I don't quite get how Empire Strikes Back could be better. Then Star Wars got even better for a bit. My favorite Star Wars piece of content is the Clone Wars animated show. It is a masterpiece that is timeless. No matter what age you are, you got to see a lot more about the clones, which is very satisfying and fulfilling to have a stronger connection with the clones and who they are. Humanizing them was definitely the right decision. Star Wars was definitely in an awesome stage where fans could wonder if it could ever fail. On October 30th, 2012, George Lucas sold Star Wars to Disney. Not concerning at the time, but definitely strange. Nobody at the time could foresee what Disney was going to do to Star Wars. 4 years later, The Force Awakens came out. To be honest, it wasn't that bad for a movie. I think it was like 5 out of 10 in my opinion. We were introduced to a modern era with different characters while still seeing classic characters like Han, R.I.P., Leia, and Chewie. Poe Dameron is still my favorite of the new characters, and Finn is also really interesting, but it also had its downsides. Rey didn't start off strong. She beat the main villain, Kylo Ren, who was really cool and mysterious, in the first movie, and that is what sucked. But it wasn't too bad. Then they released Rogue One, one of my favorite Star Wars movies. It was a masterpiece, but in 2018, The Last Jedi was released. It was terrible, and I mean terrible. Broke logic, made Rey more annoying, and really ruined the streak of decent or better Star Wars content. The Last Jedi was a huge flop and divided previous fans from the sequel fans. Star Wars had a rebound from this massive flop with a better movie, but they didn't. Rise of Skywalker was a dud, with a basic storyline and numerous fallacies. It was supposed to be the big ending of the sequels, but it didn't do anything good. How was Palpatine back? What kind of basic storyline was that? It was just terrible. The sequels did not fit with each other, and they were atrocious money grabs. You didn't feel any heart, and rather felt forced with no thought. Disney had numerous blunders in the sequels, like only building up Rey as a character instead of building up Poe and Finn and her. Never had a main villain, went from Kylo to Snoke, and then back to Kylo, then to Palpatine. After this, Star Wars was in the depths of the dumpster. Surprisingly, Disney made Mandalorian, which was an incredible show that started off the Star Wars Disney series. As of now, there are 6 Disney shows that are all around the same time in the New Republic era. Mandalorian is an incredible show. Boba Fett is so incredibly disappointing. Don't make him a hero. He is neutral, and he cares about nobody else but himself. Obi-Wan could have been great, but nobody seems to want to give them the worthwhile budget. I mean, we are dealing with one of the most beloved Star Wars characters in such a way. It mostly isn't even about Obi-Wan anyway. Curse you, Reva. Curse you. Andor was chill. Then we got Ahsoka. Mid. Skeleton Crew is currently coming out, and it's alright, but The Acolyte is the worst of the worst. A show about the golden era of the Jedi seems interesting. Nah, they made it absolutely disgusting. The power of one, the power of two, the power of many. The writing of the show is disgusting and is so illogical. If you don't think about it, it's not that bad, but we all have brains, except for these people. The main character twins go to do what they want. Sometimes they want to be good, sometimes they want to be bad. Leslie Headland and Amanda Stenberg, as well as Kathleen Kennedy, are all trying to fight to say the show is good. None of the characters are developed, they were just rushed and forced, and this show has such drastic changes that it needs to happen slowly. This show is just one of the worst, and I can't stand it. Disney did all of this with no regrets. Disney had to get their grubby, money-hungry hands all over Star Wars, and that is what is ruining Star Wars for me. Will Disney turn things around? We have yet to see, but I still have hopes. Disney seems to show their lack of knowledge on how to make modern-day movies, shows, and any piece of content. Don't hire people who don't know Star Wars. That's simple. That's like any other show. They need to go back to the basics without copying them. Disney seems unable to get their hands off the past and they always want to draw back, yet create new characters who, in no way, shape, or form represent the greats of the past like Han or Luke or Leia. They simply just don't know how to make movies, shows, or anything like that, and that's why I think they're ruining Star Wars. As a true Star Wars fan, I hate to see it happen, but there's really nothing I can do about it. Many Star Wars fans, like Star Wars Theory, voice their opinion. They want to see the show that they love in the world, the universe that they love. They love to experience it. It's an escape from the real world. Yet we have to watch and see it get burned away by Disney. I hope Disney sees this, and I hope that they can learn from my suggestion. Though, I'm just a kid. I probably don't know anything, but I probably know more than Leslie Headland. I'll say that much. They don't incorporate any other Star Wars logic or ideas that George Lucas created or any fans that created, legends and stuff like that. They don't implement any of that, and they don't care about Star Wars. I would like to see Disney hire people that care. Like Mandalorian, it was made by people who cared, and you can tell that when you watch it because it's deep and it has serious plot. It's not basic, but it's also not too complex. They know where they were going the entire time, and I would like to see that in all the future Disney shows. Um, Future Disney shows, especially Star Wars shows. I hope they see this, and you know what? I hope I can make a change, and I hope that all the other Star Wars fans can make a change for something that they love. Disney, you ruined Star Wars, but it's not too late. It's not too late. This was my micro documentary on the death of Star Wars.